Do your product teams struggle to agree on the best way to define their markets? If they do, how are they going to agree on the best way to serve those customers' needs? Your company doesn't want to be on the lagging side of this equation. It wants to be on the forefront. Today, what we're going to do is to go deep dive into how to best define the markets you serve. If you want to go deeper on the topic, feel free to download a free copy of my book, Jobs to be Done, Theory to Practice, by clicking on the link in the description. So what processes do you follow to find sources of revenue growth? The key here is to discover opportunities in markets that you're serving, your core markets, to identify and prioritize adjacent markets, and to look for opportunities in new markets. Ask yourself this question: how do you define the markets that you serve? Here's a number of different ways in which we typically see companies defining markets as personas, or around a vertical, or around a product, or a technology, or a geography, or a demographic. So what are the obstacles to success? Well, what we find is that there isn't agreement amongst product teams and organizations themselves as to what a market even is. 71% of product teams don't agree on the best way to define the markets that they serve. In the lean startup movement, the market definition process is obscure, it's random, it's often left to chance. In fact, entrepreneurs are asked to solve for the market, the needs, and the solution upfront in the innovation process, all as part of the customer discovery process. It's like solving a very, very complex simultaneous equation. What happens then is they get stuck in this recursive process that causes pivoting and churn and failure, something that you don't want to be part of. Here's the key question. If we can't agree on what market we're in, how are we going to agree on what the customer's needs are, which are unmet, and how to best serve those customers in that market? What is the best way to define a market? To answer that question, we want to turn to jobs to be done theory. You've heard about this, I'm sure. People want to buy products and services to get a job done. We want to make the job the unit of analysis. So this gives us the opportunity to define a market around the customer's job to be done. Let's take an example here. Listening to music. There's been a number of solutions over the years that have helped people get this job done. LPs, CDs, MP3s, streaming services, all different technologies that come and go over a period of time. If you define your market around the product, you would think that you would have been in 4 different markets over the years, when in fact, you've really been in the same market. So let's talk about how we define markets. A market is a group of people and the job they're trying to get done. It could be parents who are trying to pass on life lessons to children. And the way we define these markets in a very specific manner, they start with a verb, followed by an object of the verb and a contextual clarifier. There's many examples. Interventional cardiologists trying to restore blood flow in an artery. That's a group of people using a product to get a job done. Cybersecurity managers trying to protect a website from cyber threats. Again, a group of people trying to use a product or services to get a job done. Automotive engineers trying to distribute engine power. What we're doing here is we're defining a market in a unique way, in a way that makes it a stable focal point for long-term value creation, because the market is stable over time. It's customer-centric. It's the way the customers think about their market. It's problem-focused, not solution-focused. In fact, it's independent of solutions, again, allowing you this long-term focal point for value creation. It's inclusive of all sources of competition, all different ways that you can get the job done, not just what your product does, but other ways that might exist in the industry. It's also distinct from any other market. Each has its own DNA. It's very unique. And lastly, it provides a unit of analysis that enables this very deep empathic understanding of customer needs, because you can break down this job into its component parts and study it at a real discrete level. So as you can see, defining a market through this lens has a lot of advantages. We ask the question up front: what is the best way to define your market? It's around the customer's job to be done. By defining it through that lens, you can align your teams around the way customers think about their markets and you're in a better position to create value for those customers. If you want to learn more about this topic, you can download a free copy of my book, Jobs to be Done: Theory to Practice. You can learn a lot more about this topic and other aspects of jobs to be done and outcome-driven innovation. Also, feel free to subscribe. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time.